All right, Winter.
Hi.
Winter, where are you from?
So I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yes.
You're a Southern girl.
Yeah.
How long you been stripping?
So I started dancing when I was about 18. I got pregnant at about 21, so I stopped. Then after I had my daughter, I started again. And then I danced for probably about 2 years after I had her. And then, things just escalated from dancing to,
More?
escorting, I guess.
Let me guess, you met a guy.
Yeah.
That's how it always happens.
Yeah. Well, not like a guy like that convinced me to do it. It was a guy who had money, and I needed the money at the time. So.
But how did you end up into doing escorting?
I was actually working in the strip club, and he came in, and he was a regular, so he would come see me all the time. And one time he just asked me, like, would you come home with me for X amount of dollars? And I was like, whoa, are you serious? Like, and he was like, yeah. And that's kind of how it started.
But now you're doing it you have clients.
Yeah.
Are you still with that guy? The guy who paid you?
The first guy who paid me? Actually, no, I haven't seen him in a long time.
But you have an agent now? Manager? Partner?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, you could say whatever.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. I'm not looking to get anybody in trouble. And you've been doing this how many years?
Like I said, I
dancing?
got kicked out when I was young, so I did it for a couple years then. But like consecutively, like this, about 2 years now.
But you started early, it sounds like.
Yeah, I had to. But it wasn't like in this form. It was more so of sleeping with older guys around the neighborhood who had been wanting to sleep with me just to make sure I had a roof over my head type thing.
But which came first, the dancing or the?
That I got kicked out at 16, and that's when that started happening.
And then you started dancing.
And then I started dancing once I became of age.
I see.
And
what city are you based in?
So I was born in Kissimmee. I grew up in New Orleans. I currently have a home in Orlando, which is where my kids are. Mm-hmm. My family's there. And to be honest, I kind of just travel. I'm all over the place.
You travel constantly?
Constantly.
Who's raising kids? Your mom?
Yeah. I financially take care of the household, but...
Oh, so you send money home?
Yeah, of course.
And they take care of your kids?
Yeah, of course. It's the least I could do. I'm not there.
You're doing your part?
I try. Doing what I can. Not enough, but,
Life is hard.
It is.
Tell me about your childhood. You grew up with, it sounds like your mom is in your life. How about dad?
No, my dad, he was a crackhead. He chose the pipe and needles over his family and stuff, and that was probably the best thing for us. My mom, she was an awesome mom up until, I got a certain age, and then things just started happening. She divorced my brother's dad, and new guys started coming around, and drugs got involved, and it was, things changed from there. That's where things changed.
Drugs started in your life around then too?
Yeah, involving her, yes. Drugs, for me, I didn't get started on drugs until I was about 16. At 15, I got pregnant for my first little boyfriend. We were like boyfriend and girlfriend from the time we were like 12 to 15. I lost my virginity to him. Ended up pregnant a couple months later. That's actually what this tattoo's for right here. It's over the little cuts that I tried to cut myself. And just one day, my mom actually, she called me in there. She was like, come here, I got something that's going to make you feel better. I was like, what? And I walked in, and there was like some little blue powder on the table with a straw. So she was like, snort that, you're going to feel better. I'm like, do what? I've never snorted nothing. So I'm like, I got to do what? I said, it hurts when water goes up my nose. What do you want me to do? So I did it, and yeah, ever since then, I had struggled with addiction. I'm clean now.
You're clean now?
I'm sober now, yeah. I smoke weed, I pop Adderalls and shit like that for work, but as far as the hard drugs, I don't mess around with any of that shit.
That's good.
It's a struggle. It's hard. I salute anybody who can get through it. It's hard. How
old are you now?
I'd rather not say. Can I plead the fifth on that one?
Yeah, you can. I'm sorry. I'm bold when I ask women that question. I'm just seeing if maybe you'll answer.
I'll tell you when it's just me and you.
And I'm sure a lot of them lie anyway. So.
No, I'll tell you when it's just me and you.
No problem. This year has seen a number of high-profile data breaches, raising serious concerns about personal information security. Dell suffered a breach that exposed 3.9 million customer records. United Health confirmed 100 million of their users had their data stolen. But most alarming of all, just a few months ago, National Public Data announced that they had suffered a major breach, potentially impacting every American. The incident compromised over 2.9 billion records used for background checks, including critical personal information such as full names, addresses, dates of birth, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers. Thankfully, I feel secure because I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points, like the dark web and public port records, to alert you about potential identity theft. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case the worst happens. Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, including real-time alerts for data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, a password manager to help you create and store strong passwords, and more. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/soft white underbelly to try 2 weeks for free. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal information is exposed. And now back to the video. How much are you making good money doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Enough to keep doing it.
Yeah. To be traveling and sending money home.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think any woman technically just wants to wake up every day and like sacrifice her self-esteem and like her self-worth for something if it's not beneficial.
Does this impact your self-worth?
I wouldn't say it impacts my self-worth because at the end of the day, I feel like if people were dealt the hands that I was dealt, they'd be in a lot worse off situations than I'm in. You know, I did what I had to do to make sure things stayed in order how they could so my family could stay together, and I don't regret it one bit.
How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Two.
Yes. I have an 8-year-old son. He'll be 8 October 4th, and my daughter just turned 6 in June. So I'll be taking another trip to Florida soon.
Good for you. How far did you in school?
Some college, actually. I completed a semester of college.
Were there things that you wanted to do?
Of course. There's still things that I want to do.
What would that be?
Well, I have like my own things that I have in the works right now as far as like media things, but my goal was to be a child psychologist. Over the years, I've kind of racked up charges, so I don't know if I'd still be able to do that. But another goal I have is to own like my own business, like my own party planning business, decor, things like that.
Would it be hard for you to change gears? Because you're making good, fast money now, right?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm not one of them bitches that lie on their traps. Some spots are good, some spots are not. The economy's bad right now. It's election year. The police are fucking with us. They're scaring the tricks. So, I mean, it's tough right now. I still make good money, but.
So you dance in clubs, but then you're also working as an escort? Online? Which one's better? Which one do you prefer?
Escorting.
When you're working in the club, are you also doing things that lead to?
Not in the club, because I know certain clubs have certain laws and I don't want to get in any trouble, but I will definitely exchange numbers with a client and meet up with them outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You still believe in love?
A certain type.
What's a certain type mean?
I love my kids.
No, but like between a man and a woman, for example.
You're referring to like husband and wife or like pimp and hoe? Pimp and hoe?
You've been in the game too long.
Nah, because I believe after so long, you spend so much time with somebody, you go through so much stuff with somebody. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you grow some type of bond and affection and love for that person, whether it's probably not a square love, like in love, but you grow some type of love for that person. You care for that person. I don't care what anybody says. So I believe in it, just maybe not in the form everybody else does.
Yeah. What's your view of men now? When you have these tricks, these customers, the guys in the club come your way, what do you think of them?
I think men are men.
A lot of them are married, I'm sure.
Yeah, men are men, you know what I mean? Y'all are the species that y'all are, and if y'all see something that y'all want, y'all want it and y'all have the means to get it, y'all get it. I mean, hey.
Men will be men?
Men will be men.
Do you think your life will ever lead to, I mean, will you be doing things like this forever, having these kind of relationships?
I don't see myself ever getting married or being in a committed relationship just because people lie. In the game, like, you don't necessarily have to lie to your hoe. You know what I mean? Excuse my language, but you don't have to, like, lie to your bitch. You don't have to hide things. So I don't know if I could ever go from having, like, the complete truth to dealing with somebody who's probably going to lie and sneak around and, you know, do God knows what. I'd rather be alone, honestly.
Yeah. Are you happy?
Yeah.
You're strong.
Of course.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
Of course, I think everybody does.
What are your biggest regrets?
Oh, man, my biggest regrets. Probably having kids before I feel like I was mentally ready to take care of them. Fucking around with drugs and certain people. You know what I mean?
Have you gotten yourself into some jams, some bad situations?
Hell yeah. I just got out of jail yesterday.
What was that for?
Take a guess.
Okay. I get it.
So, you know.
What's your favorite kind of John?
My favorite kind of John, ones that spend lots of money, either have small penises, their penises don't get hard, or they just like to talk. And tell me I'm too pretty to be in the game and offer me money to get out.
What do you tell those guys? Do you try to string them along?
I wouldn't call it stringing it along because I'm very honest about where I'm at in my life. Right now, like I said, I'm using this as a stepping stone, and anything that anybody contributes extra to help me fund, like, my dreams, it's going to go towards that. But at this point in time, the money that I'm making now is the only money that I have to try to get things going where I don't have to do this anymore.
How do you think the years you've been doing it have changed you?
Oh, man, I don't trust nobody. I've been held hostage. I've been raped. I've been kidnapped. I've been, you know what I mean? So it's dangerous.
Does the square life even appeal to you after all these years?
I wouldn't say it appeals to me. Sometimes I wonder how it feels just to wake up and be like the little housewife on the prairie, and, you know, you let the dog out to go and use the bathroom, and you cook your kids breakfast and send your husband off to work. Like, sometimes I wonder how that feels, but I feel like that would be boring.
You've seen too much now.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen too much, done too much. I'm a little tainted.
Yeah. Does it help your self-esteem or does it hurt it? We talked about this earlier.
Honestly, it helps it.
You think it helps it?
Yeah. I've been in positions with men before when I was younger where, like, I wasn't the one in control, you know what I mean? So it's like, with this, like, they think they're the ones in control still, but, like, I kind of have the power this time, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's probably a trauma thing.
Have you got any stories about some good regulars or some guys you've taken a lot of money from?
Hell yeah.
Tell me one. You're not naming names.
Man, I had this one rich trip in Napa. He owned like 26 car dealerships. He was a fucking billionaire. But he was so fucking weird. Like, I wouldn't get weird stuff done to me, but I would have to do weird stuff to him, if you catch my drift. And let's just say I would make about $4,000 every day I went over there, but I would be traumatized for the next 24 hours, for sure.
Would you recommend this lifestyle?
Hell no.
To like your younger sister or something like that?
To anybody.
Why not?
Stay in school, find something else. start a business, do lashes, do hair. There's so much more that you could be doing with your life other than this. People have glamorized this, and people think that it's fun. It's a fashion show, you know. It's still fun to them. Like, they don't realize that this shit is real life. Every time you hop in a car with a stranger, you don't know if you'll ever make it back home to your family again.
Yeah, you have kids.
Like I said, I've been held hostage, held at knife point. I have been raped for hours. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not a joke, and it's not a place for little kids or anything like that. And if I could just give advice to any young girl, don't let any guy convince you that if you love him, you will do this, and love yourself enough not to do this.
Do you have friends? Mm-hmm. Girls that work in clubs or actual friends?
I have actual friends. I have hoe partners. I have girls that work in clubs. I have girls that I've grew up with from kindergarten that live normal lives and have husbands and kids and work, and they're nurses.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the most misunderstood thing is about girls that do this kind of work?
Probably that we're nasty or we're dirty. I mean, they are some, don't get us wrong, but me, I can speak for myself. I'm probably one of the cleanest females, you know. I know for sure I'm cleaner than half of the square bitches that they're out here fucking for free and raw and getting nutted in and having babies, and their babies' dads aren't even taking care of their babies. And so I think that's the most misunderstood thing about it.
That you girls are nasty.
And another thing is, we don't want y'all man. That's another thing. We don't want y'all man. We don't want him.
You're not stealing anybody's husband?
No.
What was the best time of your life?
When I had my son.
And what's been the roughest thing you've been through?
Oh man, I've had a stillborn baby. I've been lost in the ocean off the coast of Honduras for like 5 days. You can Google that right now if you want. I'll type it in your phone. You can look it up. I'm just not gonna say my real name on the podcast. But I've been lost in the ocean for 5 days at a time on a speedboat. We got found like 65-mile perimeter from any land. We ran out of gas going from, so, you know, they have Utila, the mainland. I mean, Honduras, the mainland, and they have a little island called Utila and another one called Rotan. We went from Utila to Rotan, had the best day ever. On the way back, we ran out of gas, so we drifted for 5 days.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No food?
No food, no water, no nothing. But that's kind of like normal stuff. Like, I've had really weird stuff happen to me, so.
What's weird stuff?
Like, just.
Other than your friend in Napa?
Just, no. Like, I just mean just like bad stuff. Like, just, it's like a fucking movie. It never ends.
A lot of drama in this kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. My life was a lot of drama before this lifestyle.
Yeah, you kind of grew up in it.
Yeah.
Do you think if you grew up with a dad around the house and a mom that was...
Not the type of dad I had.
I'm sorry?
Not the type of dad I had.
No, but if you had like a more solid dad, you think things would have looked different for you now?
I'm sure. Maybe.
It seems like a father in a girl's life helps her direct her life differently.
Oh, of course. Of course. There's only so much, you know. Like, with me, with my son, it's... Their dad's in the feds. It's only so much I can teach him. You know what I mean? I can tell him what a man is supposed to be, but I can't teach him to be a man. So it's vice versa, you know? And then, like I said, my mom, she was kind of off doing her own thing, so.
And the pimps that you hang out with?
I don't hang out with pimps.
You don't? You don't?
Nope.
Okay, I'll take that back then. Do you ever just look at your life and realize how crazy it is?
Of course. Of course.
But once you've seen the things you've seen, you kind of have a hard time going back to a boring square life, right?
Yeah. You kind of learn to strive in the chaos.
You ever just look at yourself and go like, yeah, I deserve better than this?
Of course.
And maybe one day
I will have better than this.
Yeah, one day you'll turn around.
That's the point of this.
Are you saving money?
See, yes.
That's good.
I'm not a girl who wants to make this a career. I'm aware of what this is. It's a game. It's a stepping stone. It's something to get you somewhere fast. So if you're smart, you'll do the right things with the money. And then, you can pimp and hoe in any situation, not just this. I mean, the game of life in general. You know what I mean? So if you're doing the right things with the money and like you're passionate about what, like I was telling you about the things that I was working on, yeah, there's definitely a turnaround for this. This is just part of my story.
You're still young.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time to turn things around.
Yeah. And it won't define me. It won't. It doesn't embarrass me. It just.
What do you think of the negative judgment you'll get, sex workers get, that when people find out that you work in a dance club or?
My grandmother knows what I do. I can FaceTime my grandmother while I'm on the blade outside. So if the lady who raised me doesn't judge me, I don't give a fuck about nobody else judging me. I'm not hurting nobody. At the end of the day, the only person this affects is me when I look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. So.
What would you say is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength, my personality, my smile. I'm sweet. I'm genuine.
Yeah. And that's rare in this game.
Yeah. That's why I do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And Winter, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
In my life or like just in the game?
Either one. Whatever comes to mind.
Trust nobody. No matter how long you've known them, you don't know them. No matter how much you think you know them, you don't know them.
I hear that a lot.
And stay true to yourself. Don't let what other people say about you, like, get to you or break you down. Mental health's real. A lot of people think just because we're sex workers, we're not people. We still have feelings. Ours are just a little tougher than most.
All right. Winter, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Not a problem.
I wish you
for
lots of luck.
having me.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Even though Soft White Underbelly consists of a lot of videos, it's really still a photography project to me. And if you appreciate the photography, sometimes it's difficult to enjoy it when it's scrolling down the screen, which is the only option I had in this horizontal format on YouTube. So last year we came out with the first Soft White Underbelly book, which is a collection of the best portraits from the thousands of interviews I've done. Each portrait in this book is accompanied by an interesting quote from the person's interview.
Oh my God.
There's more.
Wow. These aren't as bad as I thought. I look like a witch.
I will not be reprinting this book when it sells out. So once it's gone for good. You can order yours at softwhiteunderbelly.org. $125, $150 for a signed copy. And thank you for watching.